Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All right, folks, we're back with you, and I am excited to no end to have, I know y'all have seen Car 54. He's worked with James Earl Jones. Got his start with Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, and the list goes on and on. Hank Garrett, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm just, I'm trying to keep from being nervous because I guarantee that you've worked with some of the greats, and I mean, you've had a lot of stuff going on. Started out from nothing and become something, man. I mean, you started out on the streets, fighting your way to the top.
Well, I had an angel by the name of Sammy Davis Jr. that got me off the street.
That is an amazing. Can you tell the listeners about that? That is just, that's an amazing story.
Absolutely. My mom and dad were immigrants. They were from Russia, and they were selling fruits and vegetables off a push cart in New York, in Harlem. And I was born very late in life to them, and they just didn't have much time to look after me.
Right.
So I lived on the street. I actually slept in cardboard boxes a couple of times.
Wow.
And one of my mom's customers was the mayor of Harlem. And she was crying to him that I was always in trouble, which was true. Mm-hmm. And he came to me and he got me off the street. And he said, I'm taking you out. Your mom wants me to take you out. And I said, wait a minute. Take you out to New York means I'm going to kill you. Mm-hmm. I said, my mom put a hit on me? So he said, no, man. He said, if you got a suit, wear it tonight, and we're going to see Sammy Davis Jr. Now, I wasn't sure who he was.
Right.
But we went to the Apollo Theater, which was an African-American theater, and looked at the marquee, and it said, starring Sammy Davis Jr. We didn't go to see in the theater. We went to his dressing room.
Right.
And Mayor of Harlem said, this is the kid I was telling you about. He said, hey, sit down, man. I sat there, and he said, I understand you're a tough guy. I said, yeah, I'm tough. I was 12 years old at the time.
Wow.
And had a pistol in my pocket. I had a .25 caliber pistol. And he said, let me tell you, tough guys usually wind up with broken bones and scars. Mm-hmm. He says, but your reputation, you're beyond that. You're going to go to prison or you're going to die. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's it? He said, the way you're going? Sure. And as he was talking to me, that pistol kept getting heavier and heavier and heavier.
Right.
He got me a job as a band boy for an all-African-American orchestra. And all I had to do was put it out the charts to the proper musicians, and at the end of the gig, just collect everything and put it away.
Right.
And the band leader, his name was Lucky Millender, at the end of the gig, he gave me $50. And I went, whoa.
That's big money.
Said, it was huge.
Yep.
He said, get yourself some new kicks, shoes. My shoes were torn to shreds. In fact, the left sole was held on by a big rubber band. And next day, I ran to Florsheim Shoes and bought a pair for $15 and gave my mother $35, more money than she had seen ever, I guess.
Right.
And Sammy got me up into the Catskill Mountains learning to be a comic. And 20 some odd years later, I'm appearing at the Sands opening for Tony Bennett.
Wow.
And sitting ringside was Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, and Sammy Davis Jr.
The Rat Pack.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Finished the job, and I'm standing there, and everybody's running backstage to see Tony, except Sammy Davis Jr.
Right.
He came up to me and said, "Hey, man, you funny cat, but you look so familiar. Where do I know you from?" And I looked at Sam and said, "Sam, I'm the kid you said was going to go to prison or die." And he said, "You're him?" I said, "Yeah." The two of us started sobbing. We hugged each other and cried.
Wow, what a moment. Yep, what a moment. And also that night, too, did you not get actually a standing ovation, and it started with Frank Sinatra?
Oh, wow. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, I guarantee you. That's a big deal right there. I guarantee you, no doubt. I mean, these guys right here were just some of the top of the best, no doubt about it.
Oh, God. I won the New York Film Critics for a movie I did with Robert Redford.
Right.
And then I was, not too long ago, a few months ago, was taken to Vegas and given an award for the movie 3 Days of the Condor.
Right.
The best fight scene in film ever is what the award read.
I can believe that because you actually ended up in the hospital after that, right?
Oh, God, yes, because I had to keep lifting Robert Redford over and over again, throwing him. The fight scene was incredible.
Yeah. And you actually got to fight. You fought Elvis Presley, too, in one of the movies.
Yeah, I sparred. We sparred each other. He had heard that, that I was a black belt, and I was appearing at the Sands, and one of his people called me and asked if I would do Elvis the honor of sparring with him. I said, "You want me to do Elvis the honor?"
Wow.
I said, "Okay, bring him over. I'll give the kid a break."
Right.
And we sparred, but before we sparred, he said, "Sensei," which means teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "You don't have to call me Sensei because you and I have the same rank."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh, okay, Sensei." He said, "But would you do me a favor? Don't hit me in my face because I've got a show to do tonight."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, Elvis, I've got a show to do tonight, so please don't hit me in my face."
There you go.
He said, "Hank, if I hit you in your face, it would be an improvement." So I said to him, "You know I'm going to kill you.
Woo.
You know that."
Yeah. That has to be some kind of memories. Then Car 54, man, where are you? You ended up on I guess it was Ed Nicholson?
Oh, I'm the only survivor.
Oh, really?
Everyone else is gone.
Wow. And
in fact, my book had just come out recently.
Right.
And it's called From Harlem Hoodlum to Hollywood Heavyweight. And the proceeds go to the disabled American vets.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. I knew about the book, but I did not know the proceeds. That's great. I mean, that is fantastic. No doubt about it. Now, this book is actually, all these stories we're talking about, are they in the book?
Oh, every one of them.
And I mean,
a bunch of stories that just go on and on and on, but they're all in the book. And now, because I was, a street hoodlum, we have got a thing called Hanksters Kids.
Right.
And we're trying to get kids off the street. So we're trying to build something to give the kids a place to go to.
Well, that's
if they're off the street, then their minds are open.
Well, that's one of the things, like as well, just like Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, what give you an opportunity, and that's what a lot of these kids just need is an opportunity because they have no place to go.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Steve, you're right on.
Mm-hmm. And look what you've done.
I want to give the kids a break that Sammy Davis Jr. gave me.
Now, did you know Sammy after y'all met the second time? Did y'all stay in touch over the years?
Oh yeah, God, I'd been to his home a couple of times, And but he was always traveling all over the world. And so when I speak to kids that are incarcerated, I do that.
Mm-hmm.
My manager, Deanna Marie Smith, set it up. And I talk to the kids. I don't talk down to them. I just tell them what my experience was.
Well, you've been
and
there.
how God sent me an angel.
Yep.
And there's an angel out there waiting for each and every one of these kids, but they got to be ready to hear, not just with their ears, but with their hearts.
That's the thing. And a lot of kids are reaching out for that. And I mean, I have to,
Yes.
I actually drive a school bus full time, so I see a lot of this.
Yes, absolutely.
Kids in bad situations with broken homes and parents that's on drugs and this kind of stuff like that. But like you have been there, so they can relate to you because you know what they're going through, which is fantastic. That being said, one more thing, because we ain't got but 15 minutes, but I want the story where actually you went to do a show in prison. Can you tell about that?
Oh, God, yes. Rikers Island Prison. I met the warden. They had contacted me. I was appearing at the Copacabana in New York.
Mob owned.
Said, would you be, willing to speak to the prisoners? And I said, of course. No pay. I'm just volunteering to do all this stuff. Now, I volunteered to go to Vietnam. I paid my own way.
Right.
I went there 3 times. But anyway, the warden introduces me. He says, the gentleman, he's from New York, he's from Harlem, and he's here to talk to you. And I step out on stage, and I hear, hey, Hank, how you doing, baby? And somebody yelled, oh, man, give that guy a number. He belongs here with us.
Oh, Lordy, that's so funny to me.
I thought the warden was going to faint.
Oh, Lord, mercy. Golly, that is hilarious. No doubt, but you have done Columbo, which is one of my – I still watch Columbo today. You've been on that. Worked with Robert Redford, James Earl Jones. I mean, just keeps going on and on and on. Now, this book that you wrote and some of the stuff that you're doing, these people that's listening, if they want to get a copy of this, if they want to follow some of the stuff that you've got, have you got some contact information that we can put out there?
They can get it through Amazon.
Right.
Or if they want an autograph, a copy,
right,
they contact me at hank.garrett@yahoo.com.
Okay. It's Hank Garrett or hank.garrett@yahoo.com.
Exactly.
Well, that's the one I want. I want an autographed one. I guarantee it, Hank. I mean, the stuff that you're doing, especially with these kids, is just amazing. And then the money that proceeds from this book. And this book, folks, I'm telling you, just if you ever Google Hank and see some of the stuff that you have been from the bottom to the top and still rolling today. I just think it's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. I'm also in the Karate Hall of Fame.
Wow. Now, that was when wrestling was wrestling back then.
Yes. Yeah, we went at it at one moment. I wound up breaking his nose.
Oh, wow.
Accidentally, honestly. And he called me to tell me. He said, wait till you see the fight scene, Hank. He says, oh, by the way, you broke my nose. And I went, oh, come on, Bob. No, he said, I'm serious. I went, oh, my God, I'll never work again.
Yeah.
He said, nah, my nose has been broken so many times, it doesn't matter.
Lord have mercy.
Wow.
Hank, man, I sure do appreciate you. I guarantee it. Now, we got a lot of Garretts that live here in this area. You might be kin to some of them.
Oh, thank you. I would, and thank you for having me on your show.
I love it. Well, I want to get you back on because, like I said, there's a whole lot more to talk about, no doubt about it. But y'all need
Wonderful. And last time I was in Atlanta, I was doing a G.I. Joe show because I do the voice of Dial Tone on G.I. Joe.
That's right. Yeah. You got a lot of stuff going on. You get back down here to Georgia, you got my number. You better call me, and I'll take you out. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you, but I will feed you. I'll take you out for a good supper.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, I appreciate you, man, very much.
Thank you. My pleasure. And stay well, and God bless.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.